Welcome to Casual Wednesdays for May 28th. This is for Fish Tuxedo. I'm Jonathan Downin.
And I am Mike Firer. Yeah.
And we are Fish Tuxedo.
Yes,
you and
we are.
me equal Fish Tuxedo.
1 + 1 = 2.
Fish Tuxedo. Yeah.
Fish in suits.
Right. So, what have you been playing this week, man? What do you got?
This week, okay. So, I mean, I don't really have to. I guess I don't really have to go into too much detail about this, but I played a lot of Civ 5. I made that video, which was based a lot around Civ 5. But
I hear you suck at video games.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty shitty at them. But yeah, I played a lot of Civilization 5, and I was in the game right now, and then we went to record. So I actually have this. I have it tabbed on my desktop. And I also played a lot of Saints Row the Third.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've played that before, and I was a big fan, and I like Saints Row 4, but I played them on PC, and Saints Row the Third was free on Games for Gold. So I was like, well, I have nothing to do on Memorial Day weekend, so let's play that.
Yeah.
So I played some of that, and that was fun.
Yeah, I played 3 all the way through and loved it. And then 4 came out, and I was just watching like commentary around that stuff. I don't know, it just didn't look that interesting to me, so I didn't play it. I don't know, weird.
Yeah, I really liked Saints Row the Third. The Saints Row the Third is easily the high point of the franchise, but the Saints Row 4 was really good. I really liked it, but I never beat it, so I figured this makes me really want to go back and play Saints Row 4 again. But I just like the progression of how ridiculous those games are,
For sure.
From like Saints Row 1, you're just a dude trying to get into a gang. Saints Row 2, you're a dude running a gang trying to like shut down other gangs. Saints Row the Third, you're international superstars. And then Saints Row Saints Row 4, you guys are you're fucking like terrorists fighting like country running president man, fucking taking shit. It's ridiculous, and then you kill aliens. The progression of those games is just fucking off the walls, awesome. It's so good, and it's good to see that it seems like elements of that game, because that Saints Row is so awesome. It did so well with Saints Row the Third, and I think I'm assuming it did pretty well with 4, but that seemed to come in pretty quickly after the third.
Yeah, a year and a half or something.
Much momentum, I don't think. But it seems like games like Watch Dogs are taking a lot from it. With they have I haven't really played it, but the preview stuff I've seen for it, there's kind of weird, goofy stuff going on, like AR games and
you can digitally high, man, digitally high.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, digitally high seems to be a thing in open world games now. I mean, not in the way that Watch Dogs does it, but I can still remember the first time I watched that stupid Grand Theft Auto Online trailer. It's like, sit around and smoke a bong with your friends. Like, oh, fuck you. Like, if I wanted to go fucking smoke a bong with my friends, I would go and smoke a real bong with my friends. I'm here to kill people because I can't do it in real life. So.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Watch Dogs. I mean,
go into it, man. You've been playing it.
I've been playing just a little bit of it. So I bought it on PSN. Like, I only own 2 games on PlayStation 4 so far, or 3 now. I had 4 now. So I played Assassin's Creed 4 and Battlefield 4, and then I got Infamous, and now I got Watch Dogs here. I don't know. I'm just all digital. I don't know why I want to do that. I just don't want boxes. I just want everything digital. So
I guess before we get right into Watch Dogs, just to comment on the digital thing, it's like, I don't know. I still prefer physical copies of games. I don't know why that is.
You say that on Twitter or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I think it's because now I'm poor, and I'm like, well, every once in a while I'm like, I want to go buy this game, but to feel a little less bad about it, I'm going to give them this game that I never play and will probably never play.
Yeah,
you can't do that with a digital copy. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there are definitely merits. Like, I'm glad that there are tons of like indie games and smaller games that are digital, because I wouldn't want those boxes sitting around, because I would have a million PC games just sitting in a corner.
Yeah.
Thank God that I don't have to do that. But with like big box retail stuff, I would prefer to have it. I'm gonna buy Mario Kart 8 in the box. I will probably, I think, with Watch Dogs and the new UFC game, it might push me to get a PS4 pretty soon. Between that or upgrading my PC. But then I'll probably pick Watch Dogs up in a box, and I don't know. I just like the media. It's my old school conservatism. Real like sticking to my guns on that. I don't know.
I mean,
why.
I used to like that stuff too, and like I've kind of entered a minimalism phase in my life, and I just want as least amount of things as possible, just to go all zen on it. So
Oh yeah,
all
totally.
digital, baby. But yeah, anyway, so I went with that version, and
Did you get any wicked deluxe editions or
no,
super awesome DLC?
I really wanted Aiden's iconic cap.
Fuck
Or
that.
whatever his name, Cole, whatever his name is. I don't know what his name is.
I was listening to the Idle Thumbs podcast, and I guess that's a physical cap.
It's a real hat. And,
yeah, I thought it was in the video I made. I thought it was an in-game item, which is why it was so stupid.
Right.
And it turned out to be a real thing. But anyway, keep going. Sorry.
So if that version with that real hat was available, I might have gotten that one. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Just can't get it.
Just went standard, so it's $60 version, and downloaded it. And the nice thing about PlayStation 4, I think news came out just earlier this week that they're going to start preloading stuff with Destiny, which is weird because they announced it alongside like a Watch Dogs thing. There was a picture of Watch Dogs, and they were like, unfortunately, we won't be offering this for Watch Dogs, but starting with Destiny, you'll be able to preload your games. So that's a weird thing, and it's a little ways off, so it's weird timing on that announcement. But that being said, so I couldn't preload it or anything, so I just had to wait like until what happened to be this morning to like start loading it, and it's been super slow to download. And
really,
my connection.
that was my next question because a lot of people having issues with especially PSN with their download speeds. That's pretty unfortunate, especially because with you moving to digital and like if I buy PS4, maybe my opinions will change on that, and I'll end up by the end of the generation buying more digital stuff. But if this continues to be a trend of like slow, like obviously they're moving to preloads with Destiny, like you said, but I don't know if they can't pick up the speed on the download, that's a little ridiculous,
Yeah, it's been weird because previously, with my previous purchases, I thought they all went really fast. Like even with Infamous, I felt like that download took a total of like 2 hours.
Oh, that's
and it was
not bad.
like 20-some gigs, I think. So that was nice and fast. And on Infamous, it was good because like on PS4 games, you can jump into the game once you've downloaded the first like 4 or 5 gigs generally, which is a cool feature. So like I jumped into Infamous pretty quick within like 20 minutes of hitting the download button.
Oh, wow.
And I think I did hit that wall, but by the time I hit the wall, I just had to wait like 20 more minutes for the full game to be there to keep playing, so it wasn't bad. But with Watch Dogs, I hit download. From the time I hit download to when I was actually playing it, that was probably like 2 hours or 3 hours, like way long. And then when I jumped in, I got probably 40 minutes of game time, and then it threw up the message like, hey, you need the rest of the game now. And it's been at that stage for 4 hours or so, and it is now currently at 60%.
Wow.
So I'm not going to be playing for a while.
That's one of the things that really bothers me, too, about games now is that, and it's not just buying digitally either. It's, I don't know. I have this thing in my head where I want to go to the store, buy the game, and like I think that's why I gravitated so much towards Nintendo in the past couple of years. Because I can go to the store, pick up a game, bring it home, and know that it's polished enough that I don't have to sit around and wait for it to fucking download 5 different updates while I'm like, I want to come home and like play the game after work. I don't know. It's frustrating too because when you buy like something like Grand Theft Auto 5, if you went and pick that up right now, you wanted to come home and play that. Well, if you want to play it updated and maybe play online, then get ready for an hour and a half long download because I'm sure there's that many updates.
Patch the hell out of it before you can even play. Yeah.
And I mean, at least that game's been out for long enough. But this day one patch bullshit and and then slow download speeds for digital games. It's all just there's so many barriers to entry that aren't supposed to exist on console games.
Yeah.
It's just like at this point, just call them Steam boxes.
Yeah, it's pretty frustrating. But I think a lot of this will be alleviated with preloading. I think that, like, at least because if it's available to download for like a week beforehand or even a few days, that's going to be enough time to get it down by the time it's ready to play. It's released, right? But this has been, like I said, like I've had really positive experiences through PSN previously with the other 3 games that I purchased.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like Watch Dogs just is that much bigger of a game. Like,
you
is
know,
it really just that many more people?
But
Well,
what
were you saying? What did you say?
I just said that might be it. Maybe it's just a really big release. Because I mean, it is a pretty big release, but.
Yeah, I would think Infamous would have been huge too for the Sony crowd.
You know what? I wonder how long it took to download Titanfall on Xbox One.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
On launch day.
Yeah.
Because I would assume that was a huge launch, digitally anyway.
Right.
So I wonder how quickly people got onto that. I want to hear some testimony on that. I mean, I would imagine it's a significantly smaller game on Xbox One. It's a ridiculously large game on PC.
Right.
Like, I can't even imagine downloading Wolfenstein, because that was a 40 gig game on PC.
Oh wow, yeah.
But I think it might be only like 25 on because it has like uncompressed audio or something on PC.
Right, yeah, that always seems to be a thing on PC. Like they don't compress the audio, and they include all of the like translations.
Every language.
But Watch Dogs, the bit I played, so it makes sense how they did it. Like the opening section, you get a cutscene, and then the like bit of tutorial gameplay happens before you hit the open world. You know, so it looks like they just cut it off before you actually hit that open world. So I assume.
Oh wow! So you're real early.
Yeah, so I assume with 80% rest that it's downloading now is the actual open world part of it. You know,
That's
so I haven't even seen that stuff.
Frustrating.
Yeah.
Jeez, I mean. To like turn it on and be able to play it, and you really getting into it, and it's like, I don't know. It's like when you hit a paywall on a free-to-play game. And it's like, you want to play more? Throw some money.
Right.
Except you can't throw more money. You just have to wait 6 hours.
You just have to wait. Yeah.
Oh, God.
But I don't know. Reviews I've seen that have come out seem like it's good. It seems, but not.
Getting pretty good reviews, I think.
Yeah, 7s, 8s, stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, I'm ready for an open world game, and I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna be into it. I can tell. So
absolutely. I'm real jealous because I just watched the Quick Look by Giant Bomb, and I really want to. It's the funny thing is that they like Jeff Gerstmann seems so like he's like ugh, like when he's playing the game he's like fuck, like
right.
It seemed like he was really just
real down on
digging it. I mean, I think they were just a little down on it. I mean that. Who else? I think Vinny and Brad were watching it, and they were like, "Yeah, this looks great. I can't wait to get home." And then Jeff's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, he's like,
"Really?
This sucks."
I mean, I don't think he disliked it. It's just his reaction was just like, "Ugh, video game."
Seems, yeah.
Because it does look like a very, very, very that type of game.
Yeah, it's a video game. It's an open world video game.
Yeah, everything that was supposed to be unique, it doesn't look like added up completely, but. You know what? It looks good. It looks good. I like. It makes me want to get a PS4 and play it, or an Xbox One, or whatever is on sale this week. But not on the cards at the moment. Probably within the next month, I'll pick one up, as long as I can find one.
Yeah, cool. Do that so we can play online.
Yeah, definitely. That reminds me. That multiplayer stuff in that game that I saw in the Quick Look and stuff like that. They're real hokey. Like
I don't know. I thought it looked like it could be interesting.
It looks real interesting, but I mean, even in the couple reviews I read, they were mentioning that it wasn't as full featured as they were expecting. It was a little, like the whole thing where you're hacking another player, and it's just like it's basically that Assassin's Creed multiplayer where you pretend to be an NPC because everybody is Aiden Pierce to themselves, but nobody else is when they. You know, that's a mantra I live by. Everybody's Aiden Pierce to themselves. Yeah, because he's a fucking, he's a real joy-filled personality.
Everyone in my universe is an NPC. I'm just the real protagonist.
Yeah, everybody is Adam Sandler.
Right.
We're all Adam Sandler.
Everyone else is Kevin James's.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a horrible fate. No, but it's just like. You have to hide in a corner while, like in the Quick Look, he was like hiding in a car that was blocking traffic, and the other guy was like, "Who the fuck is hacking me?" He's like, he's clearly running around looking for this guy because you have and it takes a ridiculously long amount of time, and like every 25% of the hacking process, they shrink the space that you're supposed to that you can look in. So he goes. He's sitting in the in his car, and then the guy is just running around on rooftops, running through the streets. He passes the car like twice, and he's just like, I can't fucking find this guy. So I'm like, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's like, I get it. You know, it should be fun. In theory, it sounds fun, but in practice, it just looks dumb. And then that coupled with the fact that I guess some of your multiplayer progression is set to 0 if you're not playing with other people. Like there's a compression progression. When I said compression, there's a progression called notoriety, which changes how frequently you get like latched onto by the cops, and that changes based on your performance online. But if you decide, I don't want to play online today, and you set it off so nobody can invade your game or whatever, or it doesn't prompt you to play online, then it sets your notoriety to 0.
Right.
So it just resets that whole progression, which is a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I went on for a little too long about that, but that's my bit about that multiplayer that looks a little weird.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it. Like, I feel like this is the first big next-gen multi-platform release that we're getting. It's seems a little bit underwhelming for what we were hoping it would be, and as that like first next-gen game. But I'm looking forward to playing it, and I think I might even like do some streaming of it. I mean, on PS4, I think all I have to do is hit that button. So I think I'll do that. Because I've never done that, and I want to do that. So
yeah, let me know when you do that. I'll watch you play some.
Yeah, I might even do some tonight. So we'll see. Cool. But
can you just use your regular mic to talk while you're streaming?
I think like anything that'll plug into that headset.
Oh, cool.
So like regular headsets, like I could use this or anything.
I know Sony is fucking super good about that.
Yeah. With the PS4, yeah. Sure.
they're so good about that stuff. Yeah. So speaking of the next gen experience, right? Let's talk about some stuff that doesn't. We thought was going to line up with the next gen experience, but really hasn't. And one of the things it makes me think of is when you saw Watch Dogs for the first time, it looked amazing in 2012 or whatever, and now it looks good. Like it looks pretty good, but it looks like a standard PC game, like if we're being honest, whatever. But it makes me think there's no fucking way that that other game, The Division, is gonna look that good. Like seeing from where we went with Watch Dogs, like The Division looks unbelievable. And then another game that seems to be not living up to the standards that we were hoping for is The Order. What is it? 1886.
Yeah, so this is like Sony's steampunk alt London 1800s.
It's really cool.
Third-person action game, right? Ready at Dawn. This comes from Ready at Dawn, the guys who did the mobile God of War stuff, and like those were always praised technically for being like super proficient, pushing that hardware to its limits and looking awesome. And this stuff looks great too. I didn't watch the videos that came out about this, but their whole deal was like they were justifying their 30 frames per second choice, right?
Well, their whole thing with this game is that they are going for a very film style. Yeah. Like they have the letterbox stuff on it. They have the black bars on the top and the bottom, which is really cool, and like it really does add to what they're trying to go for, because they do a little bit of like flourishes with filtering and in depth of field, stuff like that. It makes it more directed, like a movie, because they're really going for that cinematic feel. But this is what they said, and I'm paraphrasing here, right? I'm paraphrasing, so don't quote me. But they said that I don't know if you've heard of this, Jonathan, but lately, if you go on NeoGAF or a blog or any kind of video game blog, you might see an article about, Watch Dogs is running at 902.5p on the PlayStation 4 in 10p on the Xbox One or whatever, at 30 frames per second. Right. Or this game is running at 1080 at 1 frame per second because sorry, they're underpowered. Yeah. So in order to avoid this confusion, because we're so confused and we want that really good gameplay, but 30 frames per second, I thought we should get better than this. Games on the Xbox 360 run at 60 frames per second.
Right. Call of Duty can do it, right?
Yeah, Call of Duty can do it, and they can do it probably at 720p, and that was on previous gen. So it was a kind of a surprise when, they were really doing a service to you, Jonathan. They said, we're trying to go for a movie feel, but those are 24 frames per second. So that would look bad in a video game. So we're going to give you 6 extra frames per second and raise it to 30. 30? That's amazing. Generous. That's way better than movies. It's like 6 stars better than Godzilla.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. So of course I'm being cynical here, but they basically flipped the whole we're not doing 60 frames per second on its head and said this is a good thing. We're doing you a favor.
Yeah, it's a really ridiculous argument, but personally I don't really care. I'm not a stickler. Of course I love 60 frames per second. I want it, but like 30 frames is fine most of the time. I think the place where it really matters on that stuff is like really competitive, like first-person shooter stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Call of Duty, 60 frames they have it 60 frames for a reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know, more measured sort of like third-person action adventure experiences. Like 30 frames is fine. I think it's okay. It's just dumb the way they put it.
Yeah, definitely. I laughed about that for a little while because that was just such a ridiculous thing. And there are tons of people who are defending this statement too. Like, I love the way that they're being so honest. Like, no, they're fucking not. They're being so honest, guys. Why are you so mad? They just want to make the game experience better. Like, no, that is not what this is about. This is about the fact that these machines can't push this game at 60 frames per second. It's a great looking game. It looks amazing. Probably the best looking game I've seen so far that they've, in previews anyway. And who knows how doctored that stuff is, but it looks great. And 30 frames per second.
Like the fidelity on screen is next gen. Like that stuff looks way different from Xbox 360, PS3 stuff.
And we should also mention this game got pushed back to 2015.
Right, that's the actual news here.
Yeah,
actually.
And somehow that 30 frames per second just got tacked on. I don't know where that came out in an interview. And I think that guy, kind of put himself in a hole for saying that. That's such a ridiculous. I just can't get away from that. It's such a ridiculous thing to say. Like, oh my god! And it's okay. We're okay with 30 frames per second now. I don't think we should be all the time, but I think for the most part we are okay. And for them to say, nah, we were gonna go for 60, but that looks weird, because they actually did mention that. Like, we tried 60 frames, but then we had to make the game look a little worse, and it doesn't look like a movie. But 30 frames, whoa! Like, oh, fuck you. It's okay. Like, it's okay. Just like, you can't push 60, so you settled for 30. It's not great, but I'll take it because it looks great. Just say that and say.
Right, and enough, like just last week or something like that, I think the Drive Club guys confirmed that they're going to be a 32. So
that is a
yeah, especially for a driving game. I guess that's another genre where 60 is really kind of needed there. But oh well.
It's a bummer because I feel like in my mind Sony racing games have such a high pedigree for like pushing hardware and making it look great and running smoothly, like all the Gran Turismo games. And I'm not sure. I mean, in my mind, those games ran at 60, but I don't really know because we weren't talking about that back then. It's just unfortunate because it seems like we've had to downgrade the frames per second that we can get on these newer consoles.
And I'm pretty sure Forza 5 is at 60. Actually.
I think it is. I think it is as well. Yeah. So that's kind of a bummer. But moving on from that, there's one other thing we want to talk about, right?
Yeah, but actually, let's just push it. We don't have much information. It's just we saw it was leaked today that the next Battlefield game is going to be a cops game and developed by Visceral, the guys behind the Dead Space series. But I bet we'll have a lot more to talk about that come around E3. So maybe let's just.
In 2 weeks, a week and a half? Jesus, wow,
like
crazy.
A week and a half, yeah. So.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm pretty excited. I think it's a. We had heard rumors about the Visceral Battlefield, but
yeah, but Visceral is also doing a Star Wars game.
Yeah, and so that must be in super early production.
They must have expanded. They must be bigger than they were.
I would imagine they're probably a 2-team studio at this point, at least.
Yeah, because they're obviously a really talented studio. Like, Dead Space didn't set the world on fire. It was really high quality, but it just didn't hit that mass market.
Yeah.
But the quality there was great. I think those games are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I hope we get more Dead Space at some point.
I'm a bit of a pussy, so
right. Not so much for you with the Dead Space.
Yeah, I understand why they're good. I played a bit of Dead Space 1, and it's a good game for sure.
Yeah.
It's well made, and the atmosphere was amazing in that game.
Yeah.
But I just am a big pussy, so I don't play those scary games very much.
I mean, honestly, that stuff's not for me either. Like, I'm not gonna be playing like The Evil Within, or like I don't play Slender or anything. Like, I don't like that stuff much either. But like Dead Space isn't as straight horror as that stuff is. So that's my limit, though. That Dead Space stuff is pushing me a little bit too.
I played more of that game than I would have anticipated playing. A lot more than I thought I would, just because the atmosphere is so good. But Battlefield Hardline. We don't know a release. I don't think. Do we?
I don't know. We don't know anything. Nothing's been like really confirmed, but we'll know more soon. Sure.
What did they just announce a name because people were leaking stuff?
Yeah, I think just enough got out there that they were like, all right, it's a thing. We're doing
they did the. I guess we could end on this note, but that's a really good trend that we're seeing now. Is that things are getting leaked? Because it's the internet. Well, welcome to it. Things are getting leaked, and when it pushes to the point where it kind of gets the critical mass on the leaks, and like then you get rumors. Then it's like, okay, I heard that there's a new Assassin's Creed game coming out, and then the next leak is, oh, and by the way, the main character is Jabba the Hutt. And it's like, well, okay, and then enough people are like, wow, a new Assassin's Creed game with Jabba the Hutt, and then Ubisoft, is like, Ubisoft has to temper people and be like, look, okay, fine, we admit it, there's a fucking Assassin's Creed game coming out. Here's a video. Look, okay, it's not Jabba the Hutt, it's Adam Sandler. So, but it's one of those things where now we hit critical mass on these leaks that studios are just like, look, fine, okay, you got me. Here's a video with this proof. It's really early and it kind of looks a little shitty in some points, but this is the game. And I think that's what we saw with Battlefield Hardline, and we saw it with Assassin's Creed Unity, and the other one that I don't know what the name is, but
whatever.
Yeah. It's smart. It's way smarter though.
I like that stuff too. All right, so that's it. Let's do a little call to action at the end here. If you're watching this, you probably like our stuff. So thanks for watching. Head out there, hit Twitter, hit that like button. Let people know about our stuff. We're putting a lot of work into it, and definitely there are people liking it. But we want to get it out to as many people as possible. So if you could help us do that, we very much appreciate that.
Yeah, and FishTuxedo.com.
Yeah, FishTuxedo.com. Check it out. All the stuff is there in one spot.
It's another way to consume all the stuff that we have on YouTube.
Absolutely.
It's cool. And I just want to talk about the fact that you said, check out our twit. And I thought
did I say twit?
You said twit at first, and I was like, yeah. Twit.
Yeah, check out our twit.
Yeah, make sure you go on the internet and pound our twit.
Right, do that.
Definitely check it out. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and send me nice things on Twitter because I'm very insecure.
Yeah, do all those things. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
See ya.